Ashish Bhai, we've interacted before. The question which I was trying to understand from Karan and others is that जब साली पूछती है जीजा जी पिछले 10 साल में गोल्ड और निफ्टी ने सेम रिटर्न दिया है तो मैं आपकी एडवाइस क्यों सुनूं मुझे गोल्ड लेना चाहिए. So Ashish, what has been your experience? What are you telling your clients, and especially if your sister-in-law is asking you this?
Hi, Nikunj. Yes, we have interacted before. Thank you for putting me here. So, yeah, now this is a difficult question, or I would say a challenging question when market like this and gold start performing and your equity investments is down. So definitely become challenges. And if it is sister-in-law, it is always.
आपकी दीवार भी पीछे yellow है.
Yes, yes. So it is all about the asset allocation and the amount of money you have already allocated into the equity market. So thankfully, at Vista Wealth, we take due precaution of that, and we don't allocate money into equity at one go as a practice. Even if the client is, or let's say sister-in-law is very bullish about equity. So in our case, most of the clients are into systematic mode and investment is still going either through SIP or STP. And we have a very elaborate process of onboarding the client where we tell them the probable risk and the fluctuation and volatility and downward in the market and subsequently into your portfolio. And since most of the clients do have a lot of money to be still to be allocated into equity, many clients are happy, yes, we have money to allocate. And that's the biggest saver at Vista Wealth. And more so because the market was not coming off the Eurofia was not there. We passed that peak in 2018, January probably, when the mid cap, and so it was not that period where client have allocated money left, right, and center to equities. So it is through the more of behavior control rather than investment control. So if we have controlled the behavior of the client from initial level, it has really helped us.
Thank you very much for those remarks. I'm going to introduce Sandeep now. Sandeep, just for the benefit of our audience, tell us a bit about your firm, the area you represent, and the kind of clients you deal with.
Okay, so I am from Calcutta. This is our 20th year of operation. We've been celebrating 20 years now. So largely we cater to HNIs and trust and corporates. That's the area that we are working with. Yeah.
Okay. So what has been your learning in this crisis? The reason why we are using the word crisis is because we've never seen something like this before. And the problem, with every crisis is that since you don't know how to deal with this before, it ends up becoming an unknown fear.
So before I answer you that question, Nikunja, I would like to discuss something of what we have been doing. So we as a financial advisor, our job is to make the right investment advice to the client on three most important parameters, that is the risk, return, and the time horizon. So our group internally has made it mandatory to measure the performance of each of our colleagues, which is based on individual client risk and his goals. So in fact, I would like to stress here is that we get a lot of credits depending upon our performance rather than the AUM which we add at the end of the year. Because largely we believe that performance would anyway follow up assets. Secondly, it is mandatory for us to sit with our investor and ensure we explain to them the nuances of the investments in their portfolio. So it is very important for us to understand that do we become a babysitter or we become a client, we become a teacher to our client. I think it's important to become a teacher to our client. It is their money and I think they should be part of the process. I strongly believe if our clients are aware of the portfolio, in little detail, we could actually sail this voyage with much lesser rough patches. We have been experiencing a similar situation in the recent past, and we learned from it that only if we could have been an informed investor, it would only help us to make an informed decision. So it is something like a disease. If we would know something about the disease much and precise, it would only help us to take the right decision. So discussing about these processes, it makes our process very easy and very simple to choose the right path. Of course, we do have some methods and parameters to choose the right schemes and everything. We largely focus on the client's asset allocation, and we actually empathize a lot on that.
Okay. Amit, just the same way, can you introduce yourself, your firm, and the kind of clientele you deal with so that everybody can connect with you?
Yeah, thanks, Nikunj. I represent Sapient Wealth. We are a company headquartered in Pune with offices in Mumbai and Calcutta and Assam. And we currently manage about 6,000 crores assets under management in Sapient Wealth. We have a mix of HNI, corporate and retail, Nikunj, and we run a 25,000 in numbers SIP book across India today. So that's in short what we represent, Sapient Wealth.
The topic what we're discussing today is that today the choice of asset allocation is something which you can define and discuss with the client. But the funds which you tell them, किस scheme में invest करना है, किस scheme में invest नहीं करना है, will also make a lot of difference. How do you go about applying the process in a non-emotional but a scientific manner of fund selection?
Okay, so first of all, it is a very simple process of 4 P's. And the 4 P's constitute of people, philosophy, process, and performance. The first one being people. You have seen a lot of fund managers and senior management sticking around with the fund. So you know the pedigree and you know the loyalties of these people, that they don't want to leave the fund with a track record which they have created over so long periods of time. First one is people. Then is philosophy. Is the interest of the firm aligned to all the stakeholders which are there in the business? So be it shareholders, be it unit holders, or be it distributors, or be it with the employees. I think that is one important aspect you need to check, that whether the alignment of interest is there within the firm. The third one is process. And as you mentioned, crisis. Let me tell you that the temperament of a fund manager of handling such kind of a crisis, be it liquidity in a debt fund or be it redemptions in others, I think the temperament of the fund manager makes it very much important today to actually gauge the fund house and its processes. So the third point being process, that's the temperament of the fund, and whether they have a framework for each of the fund what they are managing. So when we look at a fund house, it's clear that are they true to label? Are they following? Are they walking the talk? That's paramount. And then the last one which comes is that am I comfortable with this fund house? Is he probably telling me and acting and doing the same thing what his RM is talking, his regional head, his national head, and the CEO? I think if it's a one language company, I think that's the ideal fund house to choose for. So people, process, philosophy, and then performance. Performance is very secondary. You take 15 years of performance and all diversified equity funds will give you the same result. So performance is not really what worries me.
Why do you like Birla Mutual Funds? In your 4P filter,
what is more important is it is A. Balasubramaniam and I stand for Amit Bivalkar. So we rhyme there, ABAB. That's point number one. Second one is that you have so long history of the names of Birlas, Tatas and others that we have this in mind that they will not do something which will tarnish the brand image what they have created over so many years. I think that is something which gives a lot of comfort. And the third one is people are nice when you come across the set of RMs and the regional heads here. I think they talk openly to you and they accept their mistakes. I think that is another virtue which I will credit to them, that they also come and accept that this is what went wrong with us. And I think that's the reason you should be aligned with such kind of a fund.
Bala is not there in this room, but he's certainly watching. He'll be very excited.
Yeah, I'm waiting for an extra brokerage check for me now.
Okay, Mr. Swarnam, welcome to the webinar. Thank you for joining us. Would request you to first introduce yourself so that everybody who's watching the webinar and will be watching it later can connect with you.
Thank you, Nikunj. I'm Saravanan N, representing Purple Pond Investment Advisory from Chennai. We are a retail-focused advisory. Probably we run about 2 crore of SIP book. That's our strength. And we manage about 250 crores of AEM. The process that we follow is we have got aligned ourselves to the financial planning process. We have a custom built process of 6-stage model. our onboarding time is very robust. Like we take anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks before a client can get onboarded. And the volatility is explained to the client before he gets onboarded. And the first graph I share with the client is the fall of 2008, where the client has lost around 40-50% in a matter of 3-4 months. So that is the introduction of equity that we give it to the client. So basically, we set the tone during the pre-investment meeting that we have. So the client understands the risk that he is trying to do.
And what
And in
happens
our-
after the meeting, sir? Does the client leave automatically or he stays back? How many of your clients have left
No,
automatically?
we use that as the filter of onboarding. If a client is not happy with the way we have dealt with him in the first meeting and he leaves. That becomes a filter for our organization to onboard a client who can align with the values that the Purple Pond is trying to bring into their investing. So we do a risk profile test also, and we have a robust process of collecting information and collating his goals. So probably we have 3 apex of the triangle: 1, time to goal, his risk capacity, and his risk tolerance. When these 3 things are known to us, then it becomes easy for us to fit the product, easy for us to have his short-term and long-term goals defined. And the investment is done only based on his short-term and long-term goals. If his goal horizon is less than 5 years, we never ever take him to the equity side at all.
Fair point. Ashish, can you share an example with us that when was the client who was really worried when the crisis happened and the client kept on sending you WhatsApp messages, you decided to block the client? How do you handle difficult clients? Because right now, when you see money going down, every client becomes a difficult client, right, Ashish?
Not exactly. So as we discussed earlier also, so we have divided. So we at Vista do a lot of observation of our clients base, because we have a good team. 15 people are advising clients, and then other people, 35 people team. So there is a set of people. We observe the behavior of the client. On the basis of that, we have divided the client broadly into 4 compartments, and I would name them. First is, let's say, calm or composed client. These are the typically clients who have started investing with us before 2008, and the serious investment was of their amount. Their serious investment was done in 2008, before the era of 2008. So these are the clients who have stayed with us. They have seen first in 2007 to 2003 to 2007, there was substantial amount of wealth was created. Then it was down considerably, almost 40-50% was down in most of the cases. And then and if they stayed back with the hand holding and the kind of discussion we have done, they have again created wealth and much more than before. So these are the clients who are looking for more opportunities. In fact, we have to stop them many a times not to over allocate right now, because they have seen the amount of money they invested in 2008 gave multi-bagger returns in next 4-5 years. So this is one set of clients. Second is the people who are comfort seeker. So these are the investors typically who have invested in 2009, 10, 11, 12. So they have also seen, both the phases of the cycle, upside also, downside also. So these clients are, little bit calling us, but they're also just seeking comfort from us. They just need the conviction to be rebuilt. And they're also not taking much of our time. So they are also not difficult customer, because they have seen 2003, and in 2018, they saw their wealth going really high. And now it has corrected substantially again. But they have seen the cycles. So again, these are the clients who are seeking the comfort from and conviction from us. The third client are the curious clients. And these are the typical clients which generally came after, this demonetization and after the AMFI campaign of mutual fund sahi hai. These are the customers and clients which are really, really difficult to handle in terms of the expectation. So they have some different kind of expectation in their mind, and not the right which we want to, not the kind of expectation we build while we are onboarding on clients. So we do a lot of IIPs. We have been inviting them, and we have been guiding them one-to-one, doing a lot of meetings. But still, the expectation of these customers are totally different. And these curious customers are taking much of our time. So I won't still not call them difficult client, but they are still very curious. And these clients need a lot of hand holding, and they are our future HNIs. And we are devoting a lot of our time with them to stabilize them, to calm their nerves, and to make their behavior control be in place. But somehow the expectation from the mutual fund was totally different. And the last customer, which I am saying is confused customer, or I would call it maybe that customer has been corrupted. These are the people who have typically started doing investment into direct plans, and now these people are really taking panic call to us. They are calling again and again, and then we realize why these clients are calling. Who is his relationship manager? Why has it not been taken clearly? And then we have observed that client has shifted his money to direct. And there are some big horror stories. It's very difficult to understand what they have done. So we had a client who was with us since 2003, and I think in 2016 he left us. He wanted to save money. He read some article. Somebody told him. Now all of his debt money has been invested in equity savings fund, and those funds are down. And it is down. He's not able to understand. And he was very risk averse investor. And all his investment we have done earlier was in large cap funds, diversified large cap fund. Not in 2018 he has invested into mid cap funds, small cap fund, micro cap funds. And now these kind of clients are real in panic mode. And obviously we cannot give time, because our clients who are investing with us are demanding our time, and we have moral responsibility to address them. So these clients were, somehow was given option and they have taken it. So first they were thinking they were misbuying. Now the mis-selling by the distributor. I think now the misbuying has been done. So our major time is going right now with the curious investor who have typically come around 2016 and 17. And these are, I would call, challenging customers. Rest others are, looking more for opportunities. And the main concern of the customer is, whether to cash in on the opportunities or to have cash in hand. That is one part. Second part is they want whether they buy panic or they have peace of mind. Third is whether the recovery is coming or whether recession is coming. So these are questions which typically clients are asking. And what we are telling them is focus on your temperament rather than temptations. Focus on long-term earnings rather than short-term emotions. Focus on 3 years rather than 3 months. And more or less clients are understanding it.
So I'll encourage Sandeep to come in here. Sandeep, I'm trying to make this webinar, at least this leg of the webinar, all about sharing experiences, because there are a lot of people who are watching it. So I want everybody to encourage and share experiences. Sandeep, Ashish said a great point that focus on 3 years, don't focus on 3 months. But the problem, Sandeep, happens is that your 3-year gains are gone in 3 days. Right? And when you see an unfortunate incident in the debt market, it is your 3-year money which has gone to zero. So typically, how are you dealing with this kind of a crisis? What are the comforting words which you are using? What is working with the clients, and where do you think clients currently are not getting convinced? Sandeep?
So ideally, I would like to place it this way, Nikunj, like you would not want to place a single instance or maybe a couple of instances as a benchmark for all your decision making. Right. So yes, there had been some problems in the last 3 years, but that would not make it a point for not actually taking a decision which is actually right. And there has been many instances where people have made a lot of money over past many years, and it's a little not fair to take up one such instances and put up a benchmark and say that no, this is not the right path. So I would not believe it that way. But yes, what I have seen over the years, over the last 20 years, we've seen a large shift from where we were and where we are today. We have seen an instance like Franklin happening a month back. And if this would have been in 2008 or 2006, we would have seen much bigger panic. I must admit that. There has been a lot of investor education happening. There has been a lot of understanding going in as far as investors are concerned. Which has made there has been panic selling, but there has been some composure as well. So I think we should not take benchmarks as 1 or 2 or 3 such instances. The larger goal is something which we have seen for so many years, for the last 20, 25, 30 years, and I think we should follow them.
Okay, Ashish, before I go to Mr. Saranam, I want to thank you. For the first time, someone has come on the panel and said that media में article पढ़ा था, देखा नहीं था, which means article which your client read to go to direct, at least CT now पे नहीं था. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Mr. Saranam, I go back to that same point once again, because we may be living in a connected world. I spoke to Howard Marks a couple of days ago, and he said that the problem in today's connected world is that everybody has a view, everyone is an expert, everybody feels that direct is the way to go. But the client in the same time, or the investor, has also become very anxious and very short-term dominated. What is your understanding of the client behavior? You at Purple Pond have been running this business for nearly 2 decades now. So tell us how the temperament and how the client behavior has changed as per the crisis. Because Sandeep made a very valid point that this time around the crisis is there, but it's not as big as what we saw perhaps in 2008.
Correct. A lot of investor education has gone into, which has slightly made the investors little more comfortable in taking the volatility. And this time around, if you see in the month of March, we have had instances of clients calling us to ask us if they can add to their portfolio, because they have seen this as an opportunity. We have added a lot of STPs during the month of March and April. So as we move on, the client education is helping them, and they're also coming to the understanding that if I'm able to accumulate more units, this is the time where I will be able to accumulate more units. And if my goal is 5 years away, 10 years away, if I'm accumulating for retirement, this is a temporary phase which I have to pass through. And most of the clients are understanding if their expectations have been kept at the level they should have. If somebody has kept the expectation very high as to 3 times FD, 18%, 20%, then the disappointment is for sure. And the clients now are little more, they are able to appreciate the averaging techniques, the strategies that we use as SIP and STP. A lot of clients are able to appreciate the rupee cost averaging strategies that will help them in accumulating their wealth.
I must also share my personal experience of being associated with Voyage. It's our 6th year now. And each year, the conversation or the level of intelligence and the level of sophistication which we get from some panelists, and when I speak to some investors also, is actually getting unreal. I mean, I'm really happy to see that equity as an instrument is now getting very widely well understood thanks to these webinars, investor education, great work AMCs like Birla are doing. So that's very heartening to see that this time around SIPs are still 8,000 crores. It's great to see that, world is talking about crisis. IMF is talking about a crisis like 100 years old, and yet on a monthly basis, the SIPs are about 8 to 8,500 crore. So Amit, that brings me to my next point. We will not talk about Birla.
Yeah.
We will not talk about process. But I genuinely want to understand that when you have to deal with clients who have difficult questions based on recent performance, how do you assure them that this shall also pass? Because the agony of losing money, especially agony of seeing a SIPs go under, when you see debt funds giving you negative returns, whatever may be the reason, whether it's IMF or credit market risk, paisa laga to pain aaya. How do you do it?
First of all, a job of an advisor, Nikunj, is that of a risk manager and not of a return manager. I think let's get that straight. If I'm trying to put across that I will give you better returns if you come to me, I think that's completely false. Why people come to you and like you? Because you are actually doing a great job by analyzing the risk. I would just like to share one slide with you, Nikunj, here, wherein this is something which I think everybody should actually look. And what is this? This is a swimming pool, and in this swimming pool, the average depth of the pool is actually 5 feet, Nikunj. But there are areas in the pool where you have the diving area, which is 10 to 12 feet deep. There is a children area, which is 1 to 2 feet deep. And there is a relaxation area, which is 3 to 5 feet deep. And what am I trying to say from here is this. If you try to look at this pool, we say that the average return in equity is 15%, which is the average depth of the pool, which is 5 feet. But there is a diving area which is 10 to 12 feet deep, which means that you can actually get drowned. And that's what is happening with portfolios now, that you might get negative returns. Am I just saying that the average return in an equity fund is 15, but I have seen a minus 55% in 2008 as well. So with clients, what is more important is the advisor has to keep on looking at the dashboard of the car. And the dashboard of the car gives you signals that there is an oil change required. There is a tire pressure which has gone down, so you need to fill that up. Your fuel is low. and I am not really worried about the engine. What I'm trying to say is that the job of an advisor is to manage risk. We probably don the hat of a fund manager as advisors and try to tell people how much return we'll generate. Anybody who is sane looks at an inflation plus tax plus return. And I think that is between 9 to 12%. Yes, definitely there will be clients who will be worried about money going down the drain. And the easiest way to tell them about this is that if you get low marks in your unit test when you are small, or probably you flunked in a subject in your terminal exams, does that mean that you will not do well in your annual exams? Will you put your son outside the school if he's flunked in your science exam? It's more to do with that, am I matching my horizon of investments along with that of the fund? And if my objective is actually matched with that of the fund's objective, yes, everybody is a human and there will be errors. And that's where you have the diversification across schemes, across funds, and across assets, which are actually will help you in such kind of crisis. For Nikunj, one interesting point. Now, when you ask me this, if you buy a car, Nikunj, have you ever tested an airbag in that car? But you believe that the airbag will open when there will be an accident. I think the advisor is that airbag. He is probably behind the scenes. I will never thank anybody, the company, if there is no accident. But if there is an accident and the airbag comes up, I'll definitely write an email to the automobile manufacturer. This is exactly what is happening right now. That till the time you are getting the returns, nobody is going to thank you. But the moment you manage the risk well in an accident, I think the clients will come back to you and thank you for that.
So I'm assuming that you've not written any complaints to Birla, the airbag manufacturer, right? Okay. Now, Sandeep, I'm going to ask you a very realistic question based on the current environment. To be very clear, Sandeep, salaries and incomes are coming under pressure. Disposable income will be down for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of industries have taken a salary cut. How does one stick to your financial planning? Because financial planning is a function of how much you save and how much you want to prepare for future. But when your net saving comes down, the temptation is to cut your SIPs, don't, and compromise on your so-called mutual fund or financial discipline. I'm sure clients are asking you this question. So what's your advice to them?
So yes, of course, the clients are actually, there has been many instances, not just this present instances, there has been many instances in the past when you get all these questions. So I think the best way but what we have also seen is there has been times where the clients tends to overreact about the situation. That has been our experience about the whole thing. So depending upon your surrounding situations, you tend to start taking your own decisions that things would happen, something like this might happen to me as well. So first and foremost, we need to overcome that. Second, when actually such kind of a situation comes in, we need to sit with the client and we need to probably find out a way, find out a solution and stick on to that financial discipline of investing. If there has been some scope of undue expenses which we need to cut, we need to sit and we need to figure that out. Nevertheless, if still there is a need for discontinuation of a SIP or discontinuation of a financial plan, that can be done. That can be probably done in a for a temporary manner, and then probably we can resume this back. But the experience needs to be intact. I mean, the passion of investing, sort long term, I think that needs to be intact, and that is where we need to keep meeting the investors, keep talking to him. And keep talking to him about all his financial goals. Keep reminding him about all his financial goals, because I'm sure that these things are temporary. These things would probably come down for a few months, but it will be bouncing back again.
Okay. Now I've got exactly a minute. Then I have to wrap. Ashish.
Yes.
Answer in Hindi.
Okay.
Mutual fund सही है. 30 सेकंड का promo line बोलिए मुझे.
Mutual fund सही है.
30 सेकंड में क्यों सही है?
हाँ जी, कम अगेन.
30 सेकंड में बताइए हिंदी में म्यूचुअल फंड सही क्यों है?
म्यूचुअल फंड इसलिए सही है क्योंकि वो आपके लाइफ के जितने भी फाइनेंशियल रिक्वायरमेंट होते हैं उन सबको बहुत ट्रांसपेरेंट तरीके से पूरा कर सकता है और आपको लिक्विडिटी भी देता है, सेफ्टी भी देता है और आपके मन मुताबिक जितना आपने रिटर्न लेने की चाहत होती है उस हिसाब से आपको सारे प्रोडक्ट दे देता है और पूरा ट्रांसपेरेंट होता है.
Okay, exactly 29 seconds. You're getting pro at it in the second meeting. I hope my job is not in danger. But Mr. Swarnanam, Bala is
Definitely
watching.
not.
Bala is watching. So why don't we say this in Hindi? Okay, I'll make it easy for Mr. Swarnanam. Why don't you say mutual fund sahi in Tamil?
In Tamil, I'll do it better in English.
Okay, your choice.
Mutual fund is, yeah. See, we always say SIP. You look at it as a simple investment plan for a common man. A busy business executive can look at it as a sophisticated investment plan. So both of them will be achieving their goals just by practicing this SIP mode. So just practice, just do it. You will achieve all your goals.
Think long term, stay to discipline. Nothing is better than discipline in life, and the same applies, I guess, for investing as well. Lovely interacting with all of you, and I mean, I'm thankful to Birla that every year we get this lovely forum where I get to meet, interact, and learn from so many interesting people from so many walks of life and so many different parts of India. Stay safe, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us, and
Thank
thank
you.
you for your time.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Nikunj.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.